Ay, ay, ay. Oh, my good golly gee. I didn't see this until now, which is why I'm so flabbergasted that we're even talking about something like this. But I wanted to refer to a recent episode of the Daily Face-Off Rundown Show. From, 4 days ago? November 26th? Yeah, that's it. Pretty sure most of y'all are familiar with DFO Rundown. They've got a bunch of shows, they've got a bunch of folks, they've got Jason Greger, they've got Mike Rupp, they've got Irfan Ghaffar, who of course used to be in the Sportsnet 650 bubble. But one of the earlier episodes of the DFO Rundown Show had a very particular quote from Irfan that describes Vancouver's trade situation. And, oh boy. This is a new one. He says this on DFO Rundown November 26th, I think there's going to be a little bit of a goalie market here. And I'm wondering if one, if not both, of the Vancouver goalies are going to be available. Oh my goodness, the Vancouver Canucks are going to go through a fire sale, aren't they? If it's not Vilander, Coots, Lekaramaki, or whomever, it does seem like folks are going to be on the table. Elias Pettersson was number 2 on Nick Kyprios' trade board. Quinn Hughes is all but gone. Kiefer Sherwood is a top trade target. Connor Garland is being discussed as a potential move now, too. And even though I made that video commentary a few days ago saying, trading away Connor Garland would be such heavy mismanagement by Vancouver because it would indicate the constant changes of direction that this team is going down. But I'll go out there and say this. That was in response to the idea of Vancouver panic trading to try and get a center so that they can contend right now. That idea would have been like, all right, well, they're going to trade Connor Garland for a guy like a Kotkaniemi or a Rossi or somebody that's maybe meh to pretty okay, somebody who is a certain age range, they're young-ish, so of course there's some projectability long-term there, but ultimately it would be another one of these Band-Aid moves, you know? Vancouver's gone over and tried to get these younger, failed prospects that didn't work out in their system and give them new chances here with the Canucks. They did it with Reichel, they did it with Sprong, they did it with Bronstrom, they did it with Vitaly Kravtsov. Like, these are the kinds of moves that Vancouver does at this point. Alvin, Rutherford, they're like, we don't want to draft guys that are 17, 18 years old. We'll just shell out our assets to get guys that are already a few years into development so that they're closer to being NHL ready whilst maintaining that same potential. Instead of just going into the draft and getting a guy who will help your team in 6 years, make a trade for a guy that can help you in 2 years instead. And, that is not working for the Vancouver Canucks. None of these guys that they get actually make impacts that are significant. And that's not to dismiss a guy like Marco Rossi, for example, but it seemed like he was only available in trade talks because the Wild weren't signing the guy. Now you talk about the options that are here now, it's like, okay, Kotkaniemi? Hell nah. Connor Garland for a Kotkaniemi? Why would you do that? That would be terrible. So I'll stand by that assessment, that a Connor Garland trade for a young center that will foreseeably help the team in the now is a bad move because it indicates such a big change in direction, and you would commit this money to guys and then you trade them away immediately after. It happened with so many examples. But if you are thinking about just selling the team, Francesco, please do that. But if you're thinking about selling the assets that are on the team, you trade Petey, you trade Hughes, you trade Garland, you trade Sherwood, you trade Demko, you trade Lankinen. You keep the guys that are, legitimately nice to have around. You keep the guys that we know absolutely love it in Vancouver and want to stay. Tyler Myers, probably Brock Besser. Okay, I don't know if Brock would want to stay if Petey is gone, to be honest. You trade away Evander Kane because that guy can score breakaway goals. When you start thinking about the idea of Vancouver absolutely fire and ash style selling everybody, as long as you're getting draft picks and young prospects, not NHL-ready pieces that have potential. No, screw that. Don't try to speed this up. Get younger. Let the team grow alongside of each other. Jim Rutherford is 76 gosh darn years old. Obviously, he doesn't have probably the time, nor the patience to go through with a full-on rebuild. But if that is the direction that Vancouver is forced to take with this market, if there all of a sudden is a goalie boom, goalies are going for a lot because they seem to be voodoo even more this year than most, and the Canucks got 2 of them that are signed to pretty lucrative contracts in Lankinen and Demko, as long as you don't retain salary on those, have at it. Trade away both of these guys. Let's see the Vancouver Canucks get Patera and Tolopilo starting minutes. Have a 3-way rotation with Ty Young in there. Let the team fall to the bottom of the league, get the first overall pick 2 drafts in a row, and then start a new era of Canucks hockey with Braden Coots as the top-tier leader. Like, does that not sound reasonable? Maybe it would be reasonable if you're GMing it on EA Sports NHL 26, and you were to simulate 5 years into the future, and Braden Coots is a 90 overall guy, Lekaramaki's an 87, 88 overall sniper with 95% shot accuracy and slop shot accuracy. He scores 40 goals a year, but he only gets 17 assists per season in the simulation. You can do that. You have the luxury of doing that in the video games, but in real life, if this is the opportunity that Vancouver is offered, I honestly think this fan base deserves better. This fan base has suffered through so much of hopeful years, yes. 2020 in the bubble, they were hopeful. 2024, dominant season, they were hopeful. But this fan base has also gone through a lot of crappy years where the intention wasn't to be crappy, they still wanted to contend. 13-14 wanted to contend, they sucked. They got Jake for 10 and 6th overall. 2015-16, they wanted to contend, they sucked. They ended up drafting Olli Juolevi 5th overall. 2017, they still wanted to contend. They had older, aging veteran guys. They ended up sucking, and they were second last in the league. That's where they got Pettersson, by the way. Those years were bad. And Canucks fans still watched. Canucks fans still paid attention to the team. Oh, the Sedins are here, and Bo Horvat's this young rookie. A lot to look forward to in the future, right? Once the Sedins retire, it's going to be Bo's team, and then you're going to have these other guys providing value, like Hunter Shinkaruk, and Eric Goodbranson was a younger dude that was traded to Vancouver. Oh yeah, that's going to be a leader long-term. We all know it didn't work, but the point is, Canucks fans were able to suffer through it, and they came out still super excited when the team started to show hope. So I'm saying here, why not do that? If that is the status quo, if teams are going to be looking at Thatcher Demko and Lankinen and saying, yeah, no, that's a team that has goalies. We kind of need goalies. Why don't we ask Vancouver? I wonder if it's actually something that Alvin and Rutherford have the balls to do. I don't know. I'd say balls to the wall, shell everybody out and get assets, get younger pieces, get prospects, get draft picks, get a whole bunch of firsts. Imagine what you could get if you have all these young pieces of capital in the organization. Imagine how the team's going to look in 2029. Oh, are we projecting 4 years into the future for success? Well, if you want to do a proper retool with young players, maybe that's so. Maybe keep some of the veterans. I don't know. Maybe just let the goaltenders shell themselves out. But either way, this idea is so intriguing to me, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your opinions on our Fon Gafar speculation that Vancouver could be a potential trade hub for goaltenders this season? Demko and Lankinen. Both of these guys. You know for sure he wasn't talking about freaking Jiri Patera when he made that comment. Obviously Demko is the main one. Making $8-something million a year, and he's injury prone as all hell. As long as he's healthy, he's amazing, but still, it's hard to fully believe in it at this point. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Maybe I'm just buzzing because of yesterday's loss against the LA Kings. If you didn't see it, we made a video earlier this morning talking about how it's not fun anymore. This would make it fun. And I think a clear direction would all of a sudden spark new excitement and new hope for the Vancouver Canucks fan base. It's like episode 4. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.